Pumps, espadrilles, Mary Janes, loafers. There are so many styles and silhouettes out there that it makes really hard to choose the right shoes for each and every occasion on a daily basis, especially when we are pressed for time. Women always had a love and hate relationship with shoes. Love because they can make us feel amazing, and hate because they can hurt us really bad. Not to mention, when we have too much to choose from, it makes the decision process way more difficult. There's no denial that I'm a shoe lover, but there is one thing that I don't compromise, and that's quality. And no fashionista will disagree that comfort is king. And we hear all the time that we should be investing in classics. But I have to be controversial here and disagree with that to a certain extent. And a case in point is pumps. Pumps, they are classic pieces, that's no question about it, but they can make you look dated, especially if they are like these ones. In order for you to look current in pumps, they have to have a touch of modernity, something that it's going on in a given time. And that can cost a lot of money. And the older I've gotten, the shorter the heels became. And that doesn't mean that I don't wear heels. There's room for heels, and I'm gonna show later in this video higher heels, but I'm keeping those to a minimum for comfort. My repertoire has shrank quite a bit recently, because what's the point of having all the range, all the possible range of shoes available out there if my lifestyle doesn't accommodate to all of them? So they would just be collecting dust in my closet. So nowadays, when I'm choosing shoes to complete my outfit, I focus on the vibe that I want to create. I focus on the ending result. I do a reverse engineering and how I want the shoes to complete or to balance out that vibe. So I think about my shoe as refinement, or taking down a notch, or adding femininity, or counterbalancing that. You all depend on my mood on a given day and what the day has in store for me. And that way of thinking makes the decision making much easier on a daily basis, I can guarantee you. Knowing how a change of shoes can transform the feel of my outfit can be the difference between needing an entire new look from the office to dinner, or simply pulling out a heel out of my bag. So I picked a couple of styles only that will get me covered year-round, that will be slightly changing in terms of heel shape or height or color. And of course, there will be occasions that will need something specific. But this video is about how one single style or just a few styles can get you covered and can be worn in as many possible ways. So let's get started. I've been wearing mules and strappy sandals for quite some time now, and my love for them have only grown stronger. I think for me, they are effortless enough, they are current enough to cover most situations and occasions. So I choose them by feel or to evoke a certain mood. So once I have the outfit sorted, I think about which shoes will further reinforce that vibe that I want to create. For example, feminine, refinement, or more casual. So for example, I'm wearing a very classic outfit. If I choose a classic pair of shoes to go with it, I will enhance that vibe even further. If this is your vibe, go for it. Remember, this is totally personal. On the other hand, if on weekends I wear something more chill like this, for example, and my shoes were to complement that vibe, I'd wear these shoes that are a bit less formal, but not as casual as sneakers, for example. The heels aren't too high to reinforce the mood and get more comfortable, but they'd still be me. A navy tonal look is chic, but when paired with relaxed pieces, it becomes less formal and can easily navigate through my weekend activities and still feel put together in me. I also elect them by function, for example, to counterbalance a mood. So that would be something completely different from what I did before. Sometimes I feel that I need to counterbalance something. I don't want an extreme look that can feel sometimes too much of one thing. So in order to counterbalance that, I add the opposite vibe. I'm wearing classic, but want to add a feminine touch, a modern touch. These sandals would do the trick just fine for me. You get the idea? And that process for me makes it much easier to decide which shoes to choose, instead of thinking technically that this type of shoes have to be worn with this. I think this is too much of a concept to thinking, and these concepts, they change quite a bit from time to time, so it's really hard to keep track of those. If I wanted to wear something a bit more elevated like this, but wanted to have a cool edge to it, I'd wear these sandals with socks. I would have taken down a notch and could perfectly go for dinner and still feel like myself. For a summer vibe, I'd wear a dress like this, but instead of pretty sandals, I'd wear chunky shoes instead, because they take the edge off the ultra-feminine dress, even though they are pink. As you could tell that I pretty much wear everything I own and I wear them on repeat. I have no problem in wearing my things a lot. That's for me the core of sustainability and the core of my message here. When it comes to color, I think there's one color that is such a staple that every woman should have in your wardrobe, and that is white. And people think limiting about white, thinking it's just summer. But actually, if you think of the quality you give, the attribute that you give to a certain color, you will make so much more wear out of your white shoes, sandals, or any white shoes you have. There are some outfits that demand quite a bit of thinking when it comes to choosing the right color of shoes to complement it. And an all-black outfit is just that. So neutrals is way too predictable. If it's a nude, it's quite boring. If it's black, it can be too much of one thing. Adding a third color can be a God forbid try hard. White for me is the perfect compromise. Their role here is to brighten up a dark outfit without looking like you try too hard. So release from your head conventions that white shoes is for summer and black shoes is for winter. Instead, think of colors as functions, something that will give them an attribute. Apply this next time you are unsure of what color of shoes to choose. And by talking about color in general, for example, if you're wearing a neutral outfit, on the other hand, a black shoe, for example, can look a bit too safe, a bit too mundane. I think it's a classic color combo, but definitely can be taken to the next level. The addition of orange sandals, though, adds contrast as well as warms up the whole thing up. I think it's exactly what this outfit needs to get more polished and a tad sexy without being too predictable. And that would totally be office friendly as well. To relax the look and take it to the weekend or lunch with friends, I'd pair it with kitty heels, and you can totally see how it instantly gets more casual, yet to a whole new level, because the contrasting color completely changes the vibe of the look. And sandals are not just for summer, they are for year-round. You can wear them with socks in winter if you don't live in a very cold country. So here I'm wearing sandals with socks for this supposedly fall-winter outfit, so you don't freeze yourself. Of course, in this case, you can wear boots or proper shoes if it's very cold country, but I'm just illustrating that sandals can and should be worn year-round, and not just for summer. And that the addition of socks is a cool touch that adds a lot of interest to the ending result. The socks become the focal point, and it's such a cool touch, it adds dimension. Ultimately adds interest to the outfit. Of course, it comes down to personal style, and this is something I tend to do a lot myself. It's something completely unexpected that adds a lot of personality to the outfit, besides its functionality. Shoes can be divided into slim and chunky. And this is something that you have to be aware of when you are deciding which shoes to choose. Slim are more dainty, they have a thinner sole, mostly thinner heels, and chunky are the ones that have a thick sole to them and have chunky heels, and they are more rounded. Therefore, they add more volume. So here I'm wearing a chill outfit that is a bit loose and shapeless for the weekend, for example. So I need to counterbalance the volume with slim shoes. It's all about creating balance. So balance in volume is key. If I was wearing something chunkier here, it would be too much volume. On the other hand, if I'm wearing something more fitted, the shoes can and should be a bit chunkier for an overall balance. In this case, it would be more comfortable as well. It doesn't need to be that chunky though. I'm just being extreme here to illustrate. It can be something a bit more subtle like this brown mousse, which is way more me, by the way. For example, when you're wearing strappy sandals, you should show your ankle. That's the whole purpose of the straps. So they are best worn with midi skirts or cropped pants, something that will show them off. But bear in mind that the straps cut your legs as well, which consequently shorten them. So avoid this kind of shoes if that's your concern. In general, rounded toes are outdated. Square shoes are kind of still going on, quite acceptable. Pointed and extremely pointed toes are quite sexy and quite refined. So these are the things that you have to have in mind in terms of mood, when you are thinking about projecting a mood. And this is a timeless rule. The higher the heels, the shorter the skirts and the pants. It doesn't mean that you have to wear shorts and mini skirts with high heels. But if you wear crop pants and midi skirts, try something a little lower. And if you go all the way with maxi skirts and dresses, your best options are flats. So that was it, everyone. A quick guide on how to pick the right shoes, the right colors, the right shapes, the right height. And I hope that it was helpful. If it was, please go ahead and give this video a like and consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already done so. It's all about making the most of what you have, the best options, and making your life easier and more sustainable. It's okay to be known as someone who wears something on repeat. Let me know which tip was your favorite and if there's something that you would like to add in a comment section below. As per usual, I love to have you here. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate your time and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.